I did.
See, even when Balloons doesn't have something pulled up, he always has something pulled up. This is why we got the most goated producer in the podcast game.
You're glazing.
Pop a stock out of your mouth, bro. Everyone in the comments right now.
Wait a minute. I said it as a joke, and then you took it like 20 steps further.
No, that's what they would be saying, bro. That's what they'd be saying. Glazing, glizzy, glazing, dude. I don't know.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know.
Do you consent? Nah, I don't get it.
Recording in progress.
Leave.
That's
I
yeah.
don't consent to being recorded.
Oh no! I pressed leave meeting. Oh no! Oh no!
Still here.
Oh yeah.
Obviously.
He said, "Oh yeah, crazy how that happens."
Take us in, Coop.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome back, guys. This is episode what? 14? 13, 14?
13, 14. Yeah,
13, 14. Yeah, because 13 still. Well, are we releasing that one? Because that's like. First off, welcome to the Jake and Josh show. We've got our producer
Jacob Cooperman show. He almost went for it, bro. He almost went for it. He almost went for it, bro.
We're not fucking doing this. Okay,
You did. You almost went for it, bro.
It was almost going to be Jacob and Josh, and then I went Jake and Josh. Okay, I didn't say Jacob Cooperman show. Let's calm it down.
almost went for it. Get
Let's
a replay
bring
on that,
the
bro.
temperature down.
Hit a replay on that. Slow mo on Jake saying Jacob.
They sent it over to the replay center in Secaucus, New Jersey. Anyway, yeah, this is the Jake and Josh show with our producer Balloons. I, of course, am your host, Jacob Cooperman, also known as Jake Coop, the soundboard god, the combat consultant, whatever you want to call me. We got Josh the boss, Joshua Dakota, down there on the bottom of your screen. Weirdly enough, this is like we're recording over Zoom today because StreamYard, if you don't pay for it, they only let you record for 2 hours a month, which is basically just one podcast.
Wait, we've actually ran out of recording thing for things?
Yeah, because we've been putting in that work, dude. We've been getting after it.
We've been putting in that work. Well, it is a new month, bro. So maybe
I think we might have burned through February in January. I don't know. It said we had 30 minutes left, and we just had a 27-minute video, Josh. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Never mind then.
I mean, unless we want to do like a 5-minute podcast, just in it out real quick.
Pop in, pop out,
But yeah, I don't know if the podcast we did right after my breakup is gonna ever see the light of day. So this might just be 13.
You remember what I said, right, Balloons?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's ever gonna see it because I sent it over to you, Josh. It just hasn't come out yet.
Oh, is that the only reason why? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I maintain that podcast can exist. I mean, it might make me look like a little bit pathetic, but whatever, dude.
Okay.
I'd rather be. What you think it made me look pathetic, boys? Can you be honest?
Balloons is gonna be a lot harder on you than I am.
Yeah, I know Balloons is.
So I'll let Balloons go first.
Not pathetic, but
like I'll let you go first.
So we don't even have to let Balloons go because I know his answer at this point.
Balloons like, I look obviously emotional because that's the state you were in.
Yeah. Oh, that's not actually that bad.
Yeah, that's
well.
I will say when I call someone pathetic, I feel like that's I use that word very much more strongly.
Yeah, I wouldn't say pathetic was the word for
I wouldn't call you pathetic, but I was like I was the one who originally had like the issue with it even being aired from the get-go, so you already know my stance, there's probably like bits and pieces of it that could be aired, and I have to actually sit through that hour and like 14 podcast.
I think it was like an hour and 30 minutes. We went long on that one.
It was a long podcast, and I just have not had the time to sit through that. But if you wanted to air that entire thing, one, we have to cut a lot of it out because of things that were said, and two, it really did not paint you in the best light at all.
Really?
Not even from because you were going through it. You're trying to.
Well, what was the bad light that it painted me in? Because I know it wasn't like an angry, like I wasn't trying to disparage her or anything, but it was just like I just looked too sad. Well, it's funny. I recorded something earlier that day And I had the same, obviously, like hairstyle and haircut in what we recorded. And my dad saw, I sent him the video of the thing that I recorded and I ended up putting out from earlier that day. And he goes, geez, Jake, you look homeless. You look rough, man. Like, this breakup's been sitting you badly on. I was like, all right, thanks, Dad. Now I got a cut. I'm feeling more confident. You know, it is what it is.
Hey, bro, maybe dad said all that needs to be said, man.
But I think, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting in that, like, you want to be kind of like genuine, but at the same time, I don't know, certain things, especially now, because I'm mostly, I feel like, I think it's fair to say, Josh, that I've been like 90% over it. So I could speak much more clearly. To have it come out now, not that it would make me look bad. It might, I don't know. But
that's just not where you are anymore.
I also, yeah, I was gonna say
it won't make you look like a bad person. It'll make you, it's very revealing of your lowest point in life. Not like lowest, I don't know your life, obviously, but like a lower point in your life. I don't think it makes you look like a bad person.
No, I don't. I wouldn't say it makes me look like a bad person, but that's the interesting conversation that I think should be, not like it doesn't have to be had now, but just in general, is like how willing you are to be vulnerable. Like, does that, just because it's a low point, does that make it inherently something that you shouldn't put out? Like, what about a low, and I'm not challenging you, Balloons, but I'm saying, like, that's the question that comes to my mind, is like, what about a low point and having it on camera makes it, is it like distasteful, or is it just, because
it's like a safety thing. There's a certain limit to amount of things you
True.
can share before people start expecting it, you know?
Could you think after that everyone would be like, we need to just, like, I'd become Taylor Swift?
There's like a standard you have to going? Like, yeah.
I can say for myself, that cool, when we recorded one of those videos together that got a lot of views, where I was talking about me and Track and all of that, right? You remember that pod?
We were both going through it that pod. Dude,
that was a depressing ass pod to watch. Dude.
So I remember that pod, and that was definitely a low moment of my life, right? You know, and I actually have not watched that pod in its entirety because I know it was a low moment. And I remember the things that were I loosely remember the things that were talked about, right? Nothing in what I remember got to the relationship, got to the other stuff, got to a lot of the big things that I was feeling during that, because I felt that that's not something I want to talk about to be posted up on YouTube and have people come checking on that. Not even just because I don't want it to be something that the other person sees and comes and attacks me for it. I just didn't want to put that on the internet for people that I don't know, when I'm not in a state of really comprehending fully how I'm feeling and whatever is going on in my head. I just didn't want to put that on the internet, you know? So what we talked about is what I was comfortable talking about, you know, and comfortable going up on the air. And I felt that during the video, I felt that it maybe at certain points it was like, okay, like if I were in his shoes, I was okay putting this up here. But then at other points, I was like, all right, you're getting really emotional. Like you're really showing like that this is a low point. And I like it made me uncomfortable to be like, yeah, I'm gonna package this up and set it, you know. But that was during a conversation.
I mean, obviously we can't. Yeah, I was gonna ask what low point, but for me, it just felt like, and this is how I generally view content, is it's not, if I'm gonna have a vulnerable moment on camera, it's not to get views. It's just because this is the area where I feel the most comfortable. This is where I feel at home, and this is where I feel I can fully express myself. So to me, it's kind of just like as if I was talking to you guys. I don't see, that's the thing, is like I've had someone come up to me and say, like, how did you get so comfortable on camera? And it's because now I don't view this right now as like we're having a podcast. I just view it as I'm talking to you guys. And that's kind of like, and you know, for sure that could get me burned at some points where it's like, all right, maybe some of that stuff even, and I don't think I can't even remember the conversation. I'll have to watch it back, but I don't think I said anything that exposed anything about her. I don't think, I may have said some stuff about me that I did wrong, but I think there is something to the aspect of, there are a lot of other guys, and my TikTok is, I deleted TikTok recently because it was just like the hyper accuracy of TikTok with down to, dude, I got a TikTok. The reason I deleted it was it said me waiting on the no contact from October
Did
to
you?
now, which was the exact time frame that I met this person, G Dog, and then to breaking up with this. So it was just like I got to get off the app. I got to get off the app. But I do think that there are a bunch of people that go through that, and I feel like in a weird way, if I don't think we have a lot of people currently listening to this show, but for those that do, because there are those people out there, like maybe that would give them a little bit of catharsis. And I feel like that is there's not there's certain things I definitely wouldn't put out there about my personal life, but with that stuff, it's like everyone's gone through that. If someone wants to say like, "Oh, Jake, you seem pathetic," like, okay, well, plenty of other people have gone through that same thing, and look at me now. I'm relatively fine. Relatively. I still have some days where I'm like, damn.
Relatively far.
I told you, Josh. I texted her earlier today. I was like, hey, how you doing?
Relatively fine. No, listen, no judgment from me. I just
Look at balloons, dude. Look at balloons.
Are you being dead ass on that?
I am being dead ass on that, but Josh can attest to the fact that it wasn't on a on any toxic type of thing.
It's like it's like balloons. Balloons is the one parent that got mad, and he was like, no, but listen to the other parent.
Josh said it was okay.
He
Josh said I could have pizza.
Balloons side eyeing me like
I would have advised entirely against that.
Now, balloons, I also advise entirely against.
Okay.
No, but Josh, no, but you have to. There's also context.
Let me finish.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I feel like I was getting ganged up on there for a second. I don't like where this is going.
Okay. All right. So, like I said, balloons, I also advise against it as well. He experienced a low moment where he wanted to text her, and he went through a lot of things that I remember during conversations with him and I that I had, every time that he had said that, oh, I want to text her, I'd be like, well, let's go through this process. Like, why? Like, what do you expect from it? Blah, 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 all these different things, right? So he on his own went through this process where at the end of it, he decided that, you know what, even if I don't hear back from her, even if nothing comes from this, and even if she takes this and it just boosts her ego and she says something that I don't like, I know that me reaching out was genuine and I just wanted to actually hear how she was doing. And she didn't respond. And he is okay with it. And he's ready to move on. And I just said, hey man, you're cool. You're not punching walls or nothing. And I only hope that this does not come back to bite you when she's feeling egotistical after whatever. Who knows? Who knows, right? But I think
for me personally, it was just to Josh's point, dude. It was just literally I got this like weird, like curious need, and I couldn't like shake it. So I just I had to. But I was very curious about it. I don't think Balloons believes a single word of what Josh and I just said. Why?
No, I believe Josh.
Well, that's exactly what I told Josh, though.
I believe the events that happened. I believe that the words came out of your mouth. I just don't believe that the words are genuine.
Wait, do you think I'm lying to myself, or do you think I'm lying to Josh?
No, I think I'm not lying to yourself. I mean, if you're lying to yourself, then I don't know if you would be lying to Josh by proxy, but me lying to yourself. In my opinion.
Do you think that the feelings are still involved and I was just like kind of coping because I wanted to talk to her?
Yeah. In that given moment, yeah. Unless it's some type of exposure therapy, but
but here's also the thing is like I was very honest with myself. It's like the fact that I'm still curious about how she's doing means I care, obviously. But I also realized that it's like it's not the same type of caring where I was a week ago. And I'm genuinely honest. Like,
nor do I expect it to be.
And it like the fact that if she never texts back, like that's fine, dude. Like it's not, I feel like the biggest difference is like I'm much more willing to kind of just let it be now. So that's why I gave myself the leeway. Because honestly, dude, I'm not the type of person to like, maybe this is like a self-control because I'm very controlled and I have a lot of discipline in so many areas. That it's like I'm not the type to like stop myself from talking to someone because my pride's going to be in the way or because I don't know. I think there's nothing lost in just saying like, hey, seeing how you're doing, boom. And if I don't get anything back, whatever. That's the way I kind of thought about it. Was like But you know what? Maybe that makes me a simp or something. I don't know. Could be.
Two Coop's beginning point balloons. I've been through our conversations. I've been very, let's go with hyper aware to how Coop will say certain things or how he'll respond to certain things, and not even to act like I know everything, but simply because I can understand a little bit because of where I was in my own relationships and my own understandings of just how these things work. So this is one of those times where I felt that he was being genuine based on our conversation and the things that he was saying. So I believe what he was saying only because I've seen when he's not being as genuine to himself, and he doesn't see it that way. I've seen both of those. So I think that this time he was a lot more genuine with it. And the only thing that will prove him wrong or be wrong in terms of what I'm saying is time. So I can stay here and I can say, you know what? Hey man, you felt that way and you didn't say anything to me that sounded egotistical, that sounded how you would have sounded maybe a week ago. All right, cool. We'll see how you react if you get a text back. Let's see how you react if that is to occur. And then we'll deal with that then, you know. So that's
Continuing to
that's
be
kind of
honest too,
how
it's
I'm
like
playing it.
no, I'm saying continuing to be honest. I like after I sent the text, I was like, I really kind of didn't want to like. I'm not negating the fact that my intentions were true, but I also had a thought immediately after I texted, like I probably shouldn't have done that. Like, there's a good chance that maybe this person would have hit me up down the line and said, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you getting up to?" And part of me, if I'm being honest, just wishes I had the patience to leave that for now instead of having to like. I mean, 2 weeks. Like, what's 2 weeks really going to change? And that's
And
what I
that
thought
and
about.
that and what you're saying is what I was trying to get at.
Yeah,
I was trying to paint that picture for you of just being patient, and just going about your business and you working on your self growth. And later down the line, if a hit up is to happen, to let it come from her. Because as I already told you, you've done a lot in terms of reaching out. You've done a lot in terms of
too much.
trying to, and sometimes it is too much, and that's not a slight on the other person, but it just is what it is. And I felt like it's time for you to back up and you do your own thing, and stop being the one to just keep giving. So
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
and that's
again, like
that's what I was saying.
yeah. You see, I don't even. Maybe there is a little bit of cadence to what Balloons was saying because I don't even know if I expected that conversation to go somewhere. Like I told myself that if it was just like a "Hey, I'm doing good," then I would just respond, "That's good. Good to know." Boom, done. Like I do. I think I would have been able to do that, but again, I don't really know, and I wouldn't know if she was to text back. Like to your point, Josh, one can only know when it happens. So we'll see what happens. But honestly, like, and this
But
is no
honest,
just
watch this, ready? Watch this, ready?
yeah,
This is a fantastic segue into what we are actually supposed to be talking about on this
dude, the
podcast.
neon situation.
The neon situation, the
You
neon
take us in,
situation,
Josh.
bro. The neon situation. So follow me in, everyone. Basically, old buddy, old pal Neon, streamer. He's been dating what's his name? Sam Frank. Sam Frank.
You almost said
Um,
Anne Frank, bro. Careful.
No, no, no. I said Sam Frank, but I laughed because I remember while I was doing my research on this, I'll cut his name out in post. I saw who was following her, and what do you know it? It was my old sweet mate from back in college. Yo.
Shout out to the god.
Shout out to the guy. We'll explain about him after off stream, but anyways, point
Yeah,
is,
because when we explained about him on camera, we'd have the entire podcast dedicated to it. How
yes,
much of a character that guy is.
he's a great dude. I love that guy, honestly. But anyways, moving on. So, he got into a relationship with this girl named San Frank, and she's known to many as a OnlyFans girl. Um, a lot of people seem to be in Neon's ear, disrespecting the relationship, telling him that the girl's only using him for money and the comeuppance because before him she was a nobody. The relationship's not gonna last. She's just, all this stuff. And then you had like streamers taking advantage of the fact that they were dating and, quite literally sunning or or making a fool out of Neon on stream and all these different things. And apparently there was situations where Sam Frank herself got Neon into hot water with how she reacted to different things while they were out. Like one of Neon's rivals, I guess, in the streamer world.
With his
He,
ops.
he yeah, one of his ops, he was trying to get a rise out of Neon, and then she spit on him, and then he was able to use that to like get the cops involved, and it was like a whole thing. So like there was a lot going on, and apparently they've decided to call it quits. And Neon share it's not funny, but Neon shared an emotional video where he uh was talking about the breakup and how he didn't want this, and even though he knows it's for the best, he's still sad about it. And you have a lot of people who are saying, we told you so. We have other people who seem to be happy that Sam Frank is done with Neon, like now she's single, so like I guess they have a chance, I guess, I don't know. And then you have the few streamers who think it's all for like
Publicity.
publicity. You have people who just are looking at Neon like, bro, you're not really sad over this, bro. Like she was an OnlyFans girl. Get over it. Like it's not that deep. So I now bring this to the table. What are your takes on this, gentlemen? What do we think?
All right, Coop. You first.
I think this meeting will end in 10 minutes.
Oh, what the
anyways.
fuck? Yeah. We have a recording limit.
I forgot how fucking whack Zoom was, bro.
That was
Zoom
crazy.
sucks, dude. Anyways,
That's crazy.
I mean, it's tough, right? Like I don't know if it was for publicity or not, but I feel like at the very least, if his intentions were true, it sucks that he has to go through that, especially that, like, I mean, I don't know. You could, what do they say? Like, you can't make a wife out of a, I don't know. It seemed like maybe what they had was genuine. It's tough to go through a breakup. I'm going through one right now. And I can't even imagine, dude, like in my situation, if it was Neon's situation and I had to deal with all I'm going through and then what he's going through as well, like with all the people in his ear and all the people that are hating on him. I mean, I just feel bad for him. I think he's kind of a dickhead, but I could also, it's what happens, I feel like, when you mix relationships with that whole influencery world out there. It definitely, I wouldn't be surprised if that was a big catalyst for the breakup, because it's the same thing we talked about with Adam 22 and his wife. Is like the internet, when you put your relationship out there, is just a brutal fucking place. That's why if we ever make it big and I start, and any of us start dating, like I'm just gonna be like, I'm keeping my significant other away from the limelight, because for some reason, all the people that never touch grass on the internet decided to just come out of the woodwork. And then, like you had like one guy was like popping champagne because Neon and Sam broke up. That's like loser activity. That's just loser activity, bro. Like there's no other way around it. And then you have like Sneeko who's being like, bro, wasn't I right, bro? Like we could say that, right? Like I was right. Like she's such a slut. Like she's such a whore. I don't know. For me,
And
a
then
breakup is a breakup.
You got people in Neon's own chat, talking down on him. In his own chat, bro. His own fans talking down on him, bro. Crazy.
I think it's just a lot of people. Maybe it's projection. Maybe that's what it is. But I know a lot of people.
People in his chat said womp womp.
He's like, bro, deadass, bro. How does Neon talk, bro? He's like, bro, I am gonna go cry, bro. I'm gonna go cry. Bro, I'll go listen to some music. I'll go listen to some music and cry, bro. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I was gonna say womp. I was gonna say womp womp. So I couldn't think of anything else to say.
Coop's in the chat, bro. Coop's in the chat.
Yeah. I know, but I don't know. I mean, it's tough. Who wants to go through a breakup, and then who wants to have that breakup? Because I was watching the playback, or no, it wasn't playback. I think I watched Agent, his stream. He brought up the really good point
I watched that too. Yeah.
Yeah, he brought up the really good point that now, anytime Neon does anything that's not even remotely related to Sam for probably the next year or so, he's just going to be getting bombarded with, Sam picks. Hey, this is what you did. With like, I can't.
No. It wasn't even that. It wasn't even that. It was that. But like, I think the bigger picture was now that the moment Sam does anything, like anything she does, she's gonna have Neon attached to it. So like, how like say they're dropping a what's it called? An article on her. The article would say something like Neon's ex-girlfriend does this. Like that's how it's gonna sell. You know, like she's literally gonna be living off of his name for like the next like year and a half.
Well, I
You
don't mean to
know
be disrespectful to Sam, but like, what else? Like, don't you just take that and run? You know,
what?
does that make any sense? Like, I don't like if you're Sam, you use that to your advantage 100%, right? Like that's
No,
what's
I no,
probably
Well, it
going
sure.
to
depends
happen.
how emotionally attached she was to him.
That's true too. Yeah, I
That
mean,
is
I don't
true.
want to be that guy that's like she wasn't at all emotionally attached because it seemed. I mean, it's so tough to tell with these relationships how genuine they actually are. But yeah, that's
She
right.
even after that video aired, she had that one video of Neon still up. So I don't know.
I don't know.
Of
I don't know how breakups work. I'm going through my first one now, so we got to see
well,
second
I
one. Second one.
from what I know, when breakups happen, you get rid of the social like you don't have them up on your page anymore. You know, maybe that's different when you're famous, but you don't have them up on your page anymore. So I
Yeah,
thought
but
it
like
was
when you're famous, to your point, like everyone's like, whenever someone deletes tweets, like, holy, his tweet count just went down. What do you delete? Like everyone immediately just goes detective mode.
yeah.
So
That's
she's
true.
do start
It's
deleting
also
everyone
like,
immediately.
there might be some upside. And I'm not trying to paint Sam again out as this like really, really demonist person, but from a marketing perspective, do you delete the one tie you have to this guy if you want to use that to your advantage? You know what I mean? Like there is something I'm speaking, take all the morality, all of the feelings out of it. If she was just a cold, hard, calculated businesswoman, that's like a tie to Neon. She could continue to use his name, continue to use this breakup to her advantage. I'm not saying that it's advisable. I'm not saying that it's right morally, but if she wanted to, that's a big avenue, a huge avenue. So it's like also taking out any trace that she was ever with Neon business wise. I don't know. Might not be the smartest idea either, but it just depends. I think it depends on how much, and I think you guys both said this, just depends on how much she values a real connection over content. Because it might fall somewhere in the middle where she's like, she could almost convince herself with copium that it's like, oh, I want to keep this picture up of him because I want people to see how connected we were. But deep down, she knows that. I mean, I don't mean to sound again derogatory or any sense, but like Neon did kind of put her on the map. So it's a tricky position for her too, where it's like, what do you do going from here? So that's a good point. I mean, I think for both, it's going to be a pretty challenging year. Let's just put it that way.
I agree. I agree. I don't know. I just I agree with you, Coop. I feel for Neon a little bit. You know, I mean, I typically don't like to take the stance of the person who's pointing a finger, you know, so maybe that's also it. But I also know what it's like to be in a situation and have feelings for somebody that maybe you're not supposed to have feelings for, you know. So I can get that.
Well, what do you mean
And
not supposed to have feelings? Like I think if what
That
they
goes
have is
slightly against your own morality or like the
like
public morality.
oh yeah, I
yeah,
got you, I got you.
yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, that's what I'm saying, you know. So like I can understand that. So it's like I don't know. I don't want to hate on him for him trying to stick by a relationship and stick by somebody that, you know, he had feelings for. And the only thing I'll say is if he ever had an issue with what she was doing, like the OnlyFans stuff, and that was a disruption to his own morality, then that's an issue. You know, because if you're trying to sacrifice how what you believe to keep a relationship going, that's not really going to end well, from what I've learned. You know, you guys got to align on a lot of different things, you know, for the relationship to grow and continue, you know. Um, so that would probably be the only thing. But in terms of him like getting over her and moving on and everybody hating, I would urge him if he ever listened to anything I said or watched this video, like, yo, bro, like maybe take a break for a little bit, get away from the limelight so you can get your own thoughts, you know, so you're not hearing so many people just yelling things at you. Cause I know what that's like too. You trying to put the pieces back together, so put the pieces back together, man. You know, try to find somebody who really cares about you. And if you don't have that, just take a break. Take a break, get your mind together, and then come back stronger than ever, bro.
And
You
I also
know?
think part of it is that Neon's like a much younger guy. So a lot of clips I saw from their relationship, it did give me did give me the impression that he didn't really know where that relationship was going. And it seemed like he didn't really have set boundaries up or walls. And again, I don't mean to, I'm not trying to talk shit, but it didn't seem like he wore the pants in the relationship, which is not always necessarily a bad thing, but it did. And let me know if you guys disagree, but it gave me the vibe that he was kind of going along with the flow of things. He didn't really have a set bracket for what he wanted out of it. It was just like, okay, I have feelings for this girl. And I literally fell into the same trap recently. So it's like, you just don't, when you don't think about these things and you don't think about what you're looking for in a relationship, because it's also so early, you set yourself up sometimes to get burned.
I feel for him while he's in that stage
Yeah, it's tough.
of trying to get through it. And I was saying that I think that he should just take a moment and put all the pieces back together, but not with so many voices being around him,
Oh,
because a lot
that's
of
yeah.
time,
Yeah.
a lot of times them voices can help, and a lot of times they can't because everybody's telling you something different. And one thing that I've recently learned about my life is at the end of the day, it's your life, right? Everybody is going to guide you the best way that they feel for their own life, but nobody can tell you how to live your life because at the end of the day, you're going to make your own decisions. You might not fully agree with everybody. You're not going to fully agree with anybody, and that is okay. It is okay to have your differences. So take a moment, just put the pieces back together. And as you put the pieces back together, then you start to I'd be able to identify with who you want to really listen to and stuff of that nature. But you got to start with that initial break, and I feel like it's just a lot right now.
Yeah, I mean, I remember now what I was saying before we had to restart was that like it is that thing where if you don't know what you want, it's also easy for other people to get in there and get in your ear. So it's like
Right.
maybe I'm sure that there could be guys that would be okay with dating an OnlyFans model. I don't know about me. Maybe I could wrap my head around if I like the person enough, but I could also see that if that's I think this is his first real relationship, dude. Could you imagine how much pressure that is? And then everyone else is saying like, oh yeah, like OnlyFans women's are all whores and like blah 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 blah, blah. And how much that's gotta fuck with him because he's feeling again, if we're going off of the fact that we think that it's genuine, he's feeling these real feelings. Then you got all these different people in the sphere telling him, dump this girl, dump this girl. He brings them on Fresh and Fit. They're grilling her. And he just wants to be happy. I think he's just gotta like again, I think you said it correctly, Josh, is like go back to the drawing board and just and reassess what he wants. I feel like he shouldn't even probably talk to a woman again for a little bit just to like I mean that's what I've been doing personally and that's it helps with the introspective part of things. I really will say. I didn't believe you when you said it, Josh, but then I was like, honestly, part of me doesn't even want to get out into the dating market for a little bit until I'm good. And I could that probably is gonna happen with him too. Because, dude, I would want to even if I didn't care about the person I was breaking up with, even the people saying what they're saying right now about me and like hating on me. I'm saying if I was in, his shoes, even what they were saying, I'd still be like, I need to lay low. Like I'm not talking to anyone for a minute because I don't want people in my business.
I feel like not to discount what you just said, but I feel like it's very easy to say that. But you got to understand, like, because I'm thinking about the whole broader picture of how many people we're talking about that are in his ears right now. I think it speaks to the mental that he's going through that he's even able to like differentiate about what he wants to do because the amount of people that are in his ear telling him different things, and a lot of it is all negative, like I personally wouldn't be surprised if he popped out with another girl later this week. I wouldn't be surprised. I will be happy and excited to see that he takes a break and he doesn't do anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if he pops up with another girl. And in my head, I would automatically be like, he's trying to cope with the loss of Sam. He's trying to cope with the loss of Sam. He's trying to jump into something new. And he probably didn't even really want to do that, but he's doing it because that's what somebody told him would be the best course of action. And he's following through with that, because a lot of people don't want to do what's the harder thing to do, which is to take the break and actually work through things,
Hit the L on the chest. I'm not debating what he would do because I think that's part of the issue. I just don't. I think he's right now. It's unfortunate in that a lot of young people, when they become famous, I think it's a thing that happens quite often where their lives are kind of like mapped out for them. So it would be hard for a younger guy like him, even if he didn't have the fame. To your point, Josh, if you're at that age, and I'm not saying that I don't know how old is he, like 18, 19, something like that.
19, yeah.
19. So like I'm not saying that I'm that much older than him, but I'm sure at 19 it's harder to resist him being a famous guy too, and him having. I've seen clips of girls already approaching him. Even if he didn't have that fame, it would be hard for him to kind of turn that down. But then, to your point, Josh, you have all the people coming in talking to his ear, like, "Hey, this is the way," and this is one of the things I hate about the red pill. Is like one of the ways to get over a relationship, just have sex with more women. I'm telling you guys, as a man that is going through something like that right now, it is most definitely not the wave. Introspection is the wave. Picking up new hobbies, big time, the wave. I think if we really, and again, this is what I wanted to say was he probably is going to do the incorrect thing because he just doesn't have really good influences around him, and he's a young guy and he's famous, and
we're assuming we don't know, but we're assuming.
I mean, have you seen the people he hangs out with? Like,
yes,
we could assume, but like assume, but what I mean, this could be a great not a resurgence for his career because he was already doing well, but like if he wants to start making new types of content, this could be a really good time for him to branch off and explore other types of content. I feel like, So I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to like harsh or hard cut over to another segment, but I know we wanted to talk about maybe doing introducing a new segment to the show, potentially. R/.
Yes.
We want to do R/. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
I also just wanted to add because you and I have been going back and forth. Balloons, did you have anything you wanted to add a take or anything?
We have to give Balloons
Not really.
a word in edgewise.
Yeah,
Balloons
like,
I mean, I don't care.
What do you think about like Neon? What do you think is? Because this is something that's also interesting. Is your first real committed relationship being with someone that puts photos like she does out online? And I'm not morally passing judgment on her, but what do you think that does to a guy's psyche?
I mean, nothing. It's the other people talking about that he's dating someone who does that. That's gonna get in his head.
Yeah, it really is just like, because I'm gonna get so much flack for this. I think there is a world in which I could date an OnlyFans model for sure. If there is a genuine...
his opinion changed dramatically in the last 5 minutes. I swear to God, like he said, could I ever do that? I was like, I don't see myself doing that at all. And then now he's like,
did his
opinion changed so fast.
I thought I said like, if it was genuine.
If you knew her for a long time, yeah, or something.
Yeah. Like if there was something like I wouldn't want to just. If there wasn't a real genuine thing where I enjoyed that person's company, I don't think I'd want to. But yeah, I mean, if it was something that I felt was worth pursuing, absolutely. Yeah. What the fuck was that?
That's my ringtone. It's a Tetris thing.
Okay.
What?
I thought that was Josh.
No, nothing, bro. I just think it's funny that I'm not the one on the phone.
I wasn't on the phone either. It rang and I turned it off.
What's funny is I've seen those TikTok memes where it's like right before I deleted it, it was like the Young Thug clip where he's on the podcast. He's like, I'm overthinking. The guy's like, right. Right. And that's I was like, that's so Josh the last 15 minutes of the podcast.
Oh yeah, when I mentally check out.
He's out of phone, he's like, right.
Yeah. When I mentally check out, yes. Yes.
That's funny, man. Do we have any R/ anything's ready to go? Ready to cook?
We do not.
Oh.
What are y'all's thoughts about 21 Savage fucking bringing a game of cards?
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. I did.
See, even when Balloons doesn't have something pulled up, he always has something pulled up. This is why we have the most goated producer in the podcast game.
You're glazing.
Pop his cock out of your mouth, bro. Everyone in the comments right now.
Wait a minute. I said it as a joke, and then you took it like 20 steps further.
No, that's what they would be saying, bro. That's what they'd be saying. Like, glazing, dude. I don't know. I haven't looked that much into that situation. Is it that he was skimming cards or something, or that he was using marked cards to?
Yeah. So you scratch the thing with your nail. I don't have cards on me, but I think they were doing like you draw a random card, whoever draws a higher card wins. So like you would do a casino shuffle where you just scramble them on the board, and you would pick out a card. Whoever gets a higher card wins. And all the queens and kings and stuff were marked, so you just picked out a high value card and would win every time.
Multiple different angles to attack this from. Why is that a game?
It's gambling. What?
Is that like a
you bet
common
money on
thing?
it.
Because
Yeah,
that's
war,
like
I think.
I don't gamble, but it's a gambling game.
you go to like you can go to Vegas, and what game is that though?
No, I don't know if that's what they were playing, but I'm pretty sure that's what they were playing. It's called War.
Oh, War. Oh, I know. War. Okay,
to
yeah,
see
I
which
thought
one's
it.
higher, but
Gotcha. Oh, so there's a little bit more intricacy. I thought they just like dumped a bunch of cards out in a pile, and they were just picking cards out.
I think that's what they were doing. Yeah.
Is that what War is?
Not like standard War, but like the combined two cards. That's what that's called.
Oh, okay.
But
I thought they were literally just randomly just picking out in each round, and then just like, oh, I have.
I don't quote me on it because I didn't watch the actual game, but
No, I saw some clips, and 21 Savage looked so.
It was so awkward, dude. It was so awkward because the whole chat was just spamming 21 scammer.
Oh no. Oh no.
21 was like giving like signs and like rubbing his leg and like checking the cards. And he'd be like, "Where's my soda, man? Where's that soda at?" Like trying so hard to seem like he wasn't I guess scamming Adin Ross. But I don't know. Now he's hitting up Adin, and he's like, I think he's trying to turn face because the public realized what he did.
Yeah.
Just super disingenuous by 21, which is weird because he already has millions upon millions of dollars. But I guess
that's what we pursue. Maybe he is financially strong. Maybe he did waste it. Who knows? But
I don't know. Or maybe he just has that grind set mentality where it's like,
because they were gambling for stupid figures beforehand in like games that weren't tamperable with, like the NBA game and all that. So they were doing with high numbers. So maybe 21 has taken really financial losses. Who knows? But
it could be true. Maybe he gambled too much beforehand. I also know. Shout out to also Adin Ross because I saw the clip where he almost sold a Maybach to Rick Ross. Did you guys see that clip?
What?
Adin Ross has a Maybach or a Maybach. How do you say that?
Maybach.
I think some people call it Maybach or Maybach.
Oh, a car?
I don't know who Maybach is.
A Mercedes?
I'm aboard one of these days. Okay. But yeah, I mean, Adin just had one laying around, and I guess he had enough cars to the point where he never drove that one, which I found to be very interesting because that's a different level of wealth. I don't know.
Yeah, cars are a depreciating asset, so like that is.
Yeah, well, it's a stupid way.
That's how you know you got money.
Yeah, it's a stupid way unless you have a ton of. That's what I'm now wondering how much money Adin Ross has, and if it's over a certain amount at that point, 21 might be in the right for. No, I'm just kidding.
It might be right. There is an argument that like people don't care that Adin Ross got scammed because he himself has scammed multiple people.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah, he did those cryptocurrency scams. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Adin Ross. I'm not the biggest fan of Adin Ross. I got to be honest. I think the guy's he seems like a tool, just from what I've seen from him. Maybe he's a nice guy. He seems like a genuine friend, but he also. I think what happens to a lot of influencers, even having a Neon, is they get sucked up in that weird lifestyle thing where they have to be it's like everything's glitz and glam. They have to seem really cool. I don't know. That shit's corny to me though. Especially when, I don't know if you've noticed this, Josh, but like some entertainers, I noticed this at some of the podcasts I worked at, they put on like an accent when they go on camera. Have you noticed that, or is that just me?
No, I've never noticed that, but I wouldn't be surprised to hear that.
They'll be like, yo, what's going on, boys? Like, yo, fucking, what's up, dogs? It's like, all right, bro, relax, bro. You came from like Cleveland,
it's
Ohio.
Like it's like saying that people are gonna act different on camera because they're on camera, and that's believable because we've seen that. We know that's true.
I worked under a guy that did that. He was like, he would get on camera, he'd be like, man, that's what the fuck y'all are talking about, man. And then he got off camera. He's like, are you familiar with the 23-gram soul theory? And I was just like, dude, are you? Get out of here. Ew, bro. Get out of here. But yeah, I don't know. It all seems very just kind of disingenuous. I don't know. I mean, maybe you could pull up the clip balloons. We would get slammed with a copyright strike though for that, right?
Which clip?
Just like some of the Josh, have you seen the clip of 21 like signaling pretty blatantly that he was scalping?
Yeah,
As long as they
I
weren't
saw
playing music on it, we should be
I
fine.
saw it. I saw it on social media, bro.
21, dude. Shout out to him. Does he live in the UK?
No, he was born in London, but he's not in the UK.
Remember when that was like a huge
When he got deported, yeah, I remember
yeah.
that.
But then people were more surprised with the fact that he was born in the UK. I think that was a big controversy for some reason.
We were on. The memes are funny though.
The musket.
They said 21. They said 21 Savage, isn't it?
The flintlock pistol.
Dude.
Dude.
I'll pull up on all your brothers.
On all your brothers. Dude, shout out to Tony and the Infinity G37 bringing me my my chopped salad. Shout out.
I will say I'm looking around, cannot figure out how to share. So
oh, hold on, I got you. Can I not wait? So balloons is how do I share balloons' screens?
Oh, okay. Is that how that's gonna work? Right.
I don't know honestly. Optimizer video clip. Do I have to give you? Oh, I have to give you permission. Hold on, I got you. So this is the thing is like I hate Zoom sucks for recording podcasts. Can we talk about that? Like it's just not the vibe. But now StreamYard, like they're charging you. You can't. Who the fuck says you can't record for more than 2 hours in a month? I checked, by the way. It resets the 23rd of February, so we've got what 19 more days of this. Knowing the way Josh records podcasts and where Josh edits them. And
Josh, you need to get Discord, bro. So we can just be in the Discord call.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
I do have Discord.
Because I have
What?
Discord bot.
Oh yeah, then we should have just done that shit. What the fuck?
We should have, honestly. How do I give people permission? I don't know how to do
We'll
this.
we'll figure that out at a later time.
Fuck it,
man.
whatever.
Yeah.
No clip sharing capabilities this podcast. This one's been a weird. Has this felt a little bit disjointed to anyone else?
No, it's just because we're on Zoom. I feel like the conversations flowed.
On StreamYard better? They streamed?
No, I mean that.
No, it's because we also had to take a pause in between, like a 10-minute pause.
That's true.
Yeah.
I've never. When have all these apps added this shit? That never happened when we were in the pandemic. I never remember that being
because
the case.
because it was the
Because they
pandemic.
monetized it and it wasn't monetized before.
Everybody's home. Everybody was home during the pandemic. Now everybody is able to go get money, so they want money.
They should just put. I would be fine. Listen, here I'm proposing this Zoom. You let us record for as long as we want, and you get to put literally whatever ads you want on our screen right now. So long as you don't cover up our faces, bro. There could be like a Lowe's
idea.
A Lowe's hardware thing right there, or like a fucking, I don't know, like a Nike right there. I would do that just to save Josh the hassle of editing. Because you know this podcast is about to come out in 3 years now.
Probably not.
Probably not. No, Josh has been better with editing podcasts. That's for sure.
He has, for sure.
He has.
For once in his life.
Damn.
Oh, no.
Fuck, bro.
Nah, I'm kidding.
How come when you say it about Josh, you say you're kidding, but then when you say it about me,
I'm not kidding when I talk about you, obviously. What? Do the math.
All right.
Do the math, bro.
I really no
see where this is going.
This is going downhill.
You got it, bro.
He said, do the math.
Said you should have been seeing where this was going. I was like, damn.
Yo, do the math, bro.
I'm joking, obviously. Come on.
Yeah, bro.
We all love each other.
Sure.
Dude, Balloons, what if you said that to your Balloons gets a girlfriend? She's like, Balloons, what do you see as being long term? And Balloons is like, sure.
Sure.
Just turn
right. That's what I'm saying.
One of my friends, he was texting this girl one time, and she was sending him paragraphs, and she was so mad at him for doing something, and he sent her back 3 of these emojis.
The best.
I rated. You got to do that.
That was so funny.
Balloon said 3. That's a lot. Just one.
One suffices.
Just Balloon's thumbs up the message.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
Oh my!
I've never had the pleasure of doing that, but I hope I get to slam dunk on someone like that later in my life.
I don't.
Right.
No, I don't actually hope that. I feel like that's really shitty. I feel like because we were talking about that, Josh. That's like what happened I guess to me is like how a lot of red pill guys formulate, but it's about how you handle it. I could have gone incel mode, or
That's quite literally like life as a whole. You're gonna constantly face challenges, but how do you take them? How do you let them mold you into either a worse off person or a better off person? You gotta let that decide. You gotta decide that for yourself. And that's kind of how I see it. You
could be
can take
worse.
this. Exactly. It could
Could have
always
gotten
be
cheated
worse.
on.
Could have gotten
Mhm.
cheated on.
The relationship before this one, she met a guy while we were talking, and
All
she
right.
told me that they went bowling together, and then she ended up dating that guy because I didn't give her enough attention. But honestly, that relationship was never gonna work anyways. But that was harder to stomach than this one was.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
knowing
interesting. I
that.
feel like in a situation where there's like not like some level of emotional cheating or something, it would be easier to like distance yourself because you like justify leaving them more morally, I guess.
Well, shout out to J Dog, because we still talk from time to time. How quickly did I get over J Dog, Josh?
I don't really remember. I just remember you being upset about how it ended and what she did, and then I don't know. We just kind of transitioned. Yeah, I remember you. I was doing my own stuff, so a lot of this was like
Was that
kind
was that
of
when you were dealing with B Dog?
well, kind of yes and no. Because remember she came back, so
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, to your point, Balloons, I think it would be in some cases easier because it was easier for me to vilify her in my mind. But I also I wasn't communicating well, and this guy told her everything she wanted to hear, and so I couldn't
You blame
really.
yourself for her actions.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't giving her what she needed, so she had to, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Like emotionally, I wasn't ready for a relationship, and she found someone that was, and she wanted a relationship, so she went. And again, I chopped it up with her pretty recently, and she's doing good. But like, yeah, I think that's an easier situation than it's like because I just kind of feel like the chump sometimes. It's like I'm not. Listen, we're not gonna do what we did the last podcast, but it's easier, I feel like, in certain points to say like, oh, this person did all the wrong stuff, but it's like it's hard to say, oh yeah, I did this, that, and this, and that's why it ended.
I
Definitely,
agree.
big time. When you're
I
already
agree.
going through it, that sucks.
Yeah, I always like to, because it's my thing is it's easy to point at the other person and say what they did wrong. It's really easy to do that, you know. But it's a lot harder to sit with yourself and come up with, okay, where did I mess up? What did I do wrong? It's a lot harder to sit with that. But as you sit with that, as you continue to work through a lot of that, you get to find out, oh, okay, I do this in other places, and here's why I do this. Okay, I need to work on this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it just kind of, for me at least, it changes the focus of being mad and hurt at the other person, and I eventually transitioned from that from to a place of growth for myself where it's like, all right, I want to better myself so I don't keep making that same mistake, and that's just where I go.
Yeah, dude. Took up cooking. Balloons, when you actually come down here for a real episode of the podcast, I'm gonna make you and Josh a filet mignon, a steak, a steak meant for the gods.
Make sure, Balloons, that you remember every word he says, so anything less if it's anything less, you sue him for everything he's worth.
Mhm.
Balloons uses producer abilities to pull up the clip. I'm like, damn.
That's crazy. I couldn't even pull up anything. I think I can, but I'll see.
Yeah, no, Zoom sucks dick at just being
Wow.
like good for podcasting. I feel like it does, honestly. But a lot of podcasts were using it for a while, and then StreamYard came along. I honestly think Discord might be the best. The only problem with Discord is I don't know how to record anything on that. I think you have to have
OBS.
Crackbot or something.
You're just OBS it. Or I guess you can use a bot, yeah. But
Oh, OBS it. Yeah, that works too. And then just have your microphone in. Yeah, actually that works. All right, so that's what we'll do for next episode. Do we want to? With that, are we good to?
I have the top post of Am I the Asshole? We still want to do that
Oh, do you want to do
for
that, Josh? You
today's.
want to fire it off?
Of what?
Am I the asshole on Reddit?
Oh, nah, you take it because I completely blank on what that was again. So go ahead.
Bro, Josh is struggling right
Josh is already zoning out, man.
now. Josh is
We'll
going.
just
Josh is-
end it.
I started thinking about food, bro. My fault.
All right, yeah. So then
Definitely
we'll bring in a bunch of new segments next episode. That's what we'll do. And then
All
this
right.
one will just be the preparatory episode. So expect more not like a crazy amount of segments, but just expect more in general. I don't know, planned out stuff. Is that the right word, I guess? Yeah.
No ideas.
Sure.
Yeah, no ideas. All right, without further ado, that has been the episode 13 of the Jake and Josh podcast. I have been your host, Jacob Cooperman, Jewish John, and of course, the soundboard god, combat consultant. To my left now. Go ahead, Josh.
To your right.
Oh,
I
is it
guess.
to my right? Or
Who are you
no,
pointing at?
on the screen, it's here, right? Yeah, so Josh, just, say goodbye.
Oh wait, Josh is to your right. Oh, that's interesting.
On my screen, he's to my left.
I'm to your left. You're pointing at me. That's interesting.
Oh,
All right.
so we all have different. All right. So on the official recording, Josh is to my left. So Josh, I'm with my host, my co-host. That's when you say your name.
Oh,
Did you just say Paul?
John.
What?
Said
Paul.
Paul,
Josh.
and of course
Josh signing off. See y'all later.
and of course our goated producer,
Yes.
Unpoppable Balloons. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. Man.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here, bro.
Yes.
Yes, dude.